In review, we really like the machine. After 20 years of using the other machine, this is very comparable to that, if not a little bit better. It's been about 3 weeks.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
What have we accomplished?
Well, first we just sewed on a lot of scraps and tried to
Somebody got really confident on the
straight
sewing
lines.
machine.
I
And she's
did.
doing it all herself now.
Oh my gosh, it's my new favorite piece of equipment. Well, I like the laser too, but I like the sewing machine. So what we did is we just practiced on scrap pieces, trying to make lines, learning how to start and stop and go backwards and forwards. And then like almost immediately, I just started making these little card wallets. These first ones were really simple where I just needed to stitch here and here. And it's a couple layers of pretty thin leather. So those were easy. And then I stepped up my game after about a day or 2 days. And I like to do beadwork. And so I worked on making squares, rectangles around the beadwork. And this one has sewing around the whole edge here to put the second layer on. And so what I did was I practiced several times with just a cutout with no beads in there. I did have to practice that kind of a lot and learn how to make the squares, but that was more me just getting practice on how to make things straight and how to line up the needle and where is it actually going, which just took practice to see when I'm looking at it from this angle, what does that mean for where the needle actually goes? So I don't know. I guess what I would say is I just sat down and started going, and it was pretty easy.
Yeah, from 0 to 100. I mean, I think you, in the beginning, from coming from being anxious about sewing to being able to accomplish projects on her own, with the help of me, of course, but for the most part, she's been in here doing it herself when I'm out doing other stuff on the weekends. And
yeah, I have no problem walking up to this thing, turning it on, getting it going. I've learned how to fill the bobbins, how to set the bobbins up. Right now I have brown thread and white thread because when I've been doing some of these, I learned how to put the white thread in the bobbin and the brown thread on the top. And so I can sit down and probably within 4 or 5 days, I was able to just sit down and go to town. I mean, I made a lot of little mistakes that were me, not, I don't know, forgetting to do this or that or the other, but the machine's been great.
So if we kind of go back, once we got the machine assembled, the very first thing I did was went and sewed 4 pair of chaps. I sewed 2 pair of armitas on it, and I sewed 2 pair of chaps. And anything that, any kind of trouble or adjustment or question I had about the machine that I come across, I would email my contact at Sailrite. He would answer immediately, but it turns out I really didn't even need to do that because it's in the manual, stupid. They have a very thorough manual, and if you just read the manual, you'll find a lot of the things that you're going to come across as far as adjustment. And when I mean adjustment in general, it's just that they ship the machine out as a general setup, and you're going to have to do a few things to make it setup specific to your needs. So in other words, for leather, one of the things I needed to do was adjust the presser foot lift, which is covered in the manual. I had to adjust the tension on the needle foot and the walking foot, which is covered in the manual. The other thing from the original video you guys saw, we did purchase the leather accessory package, and really you don't need that. You can purchase.
All right, I'm going to insert a caveat here. I might redact that statement. If you've never sewn leather before, and or this is your first time working with leather, this is your first sewing machine, what have you, the leather package would be very helpful to have. It comes with everything you need to start sewing leather. However, if you're already experienced with Leathercraft and you might already have a sewing machine or two, you probably can get by with purchasing the parts you need to sew leather individually.
You can purchase a few things a la carte is it a la carte?
A la carte.
By themselves. Is that French or something?
I think so. You could call it a la carte if you want.
Okay, but anyway, there's 3 things that you need to sew leather with this machine. You need the smaller pulley that goes on the motor. And then you need a smooth leather presser foot, which is a split foot, and we'll throw up a close-up of these 2 things here over the screen. And then you need the walking foot. The feed dog, they'll send you a smooth feed dog, which you don't necessarily need. The feed dog I have on my old sewing machine is just like the feed dog that the Fabricator comes shipped with, and we didn't change it out, and we've been using it. So there were a few things as far as tension and a few adjustments that we had to make on, I think I already said that, on the presser foot pressure. But we've got that cleared up and it's working great. I've got this thing to where it will sew through almost, we mic'd this out at, or with the digital calipers, we measured. We measured it. We measured it out at 0.45 inches in thickness, and there's very few areas on the chaps that I build where I'm going to need to sew through all these layers of material at once. It's a very specific spot on the chap, and I was getting some clicking and some funny noises that I really didn't like on the machine, but I was able to make some adjustments on the presser foot tension, and they've all but gone away. There's definitely a limitation to the machine. It's not a harness leather machine. It's going to work great for chaps or chinks, lighter weight leather material. Little bags. But
hobby ideas.
0.45 inch, which is almost half an inch. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, and I did these things right out of the box without adjusting anything.
Right.
So you really didn't get into any finer adjustments until you got into really, really thick areas. And I don't even do that.
No, not yet.
But no, you're right. I would like to get to that. So don't be afraid of what he's talking about, adjusting these things. Read the manual and watch the videos. Guess who didn't do either? And who was like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I can fix this. And then he'd email the contact at Sailrite, who very, very politely would give you the suggestion of what to do. And then I think very politely mention that it was in the manual too.
And the other thing is if it's not covered in the manual and you explained your specific issue with them, chances are they have a video that's, that they can direct you to on how to address it or correct it. That's the other thing that's really good about Sailrite is support in general. They have a full video library that's public on YouTube, and then I think they have another video library that's unpublished that they can direct you to via a link. They can email you a link to help you with maybe a specific issue that you might be having with the machine. There's also a ton of projects that they publish on Sailrite, not just a few with leather, but not just with leather, but with Cordura, canvas, canvas bags, tool rolls, all kinds of cool stuff. And
yeah, it looked like you could purchase the kit. Like if you wanted to try a couple projects and have clear direction, it looked like you could purchase a kit for whatever it is, a backpack or some kind of bag. And then they have video that walks you through how to do that.
Very thorough video, step by step.
We watched one of those. It was the tool roll.
Yeah. Tool
roll. And it had super great information, some tips and tricks. It was very clear. So the amount of information that they have available, and then their very nice customer service is amazing. I never had to contact them. You did the contact, and I never had any issues with my little projects. But I do want to go on there and watch some more of the videos of the little projects that they have. They have a lot of good sewing information there, and like I said, tips and tricks on how to do corners and do different tricky things.
Yeah. What sort of spurred all this on was I started filming a basic chink making course. Chinks are like half chaps. For those of you that maybe don't know what chinks are, they're like half chaps. I specialize in building custom leggings for horse people all around the world. And when I started making the course or the video, what am I calling it? A video class.
Yeah,
a video class. Anyway, I wanted to find a sewing machine that I could recommend. I have absolutely no problem recommending the sewing machine. Sewing machine's a big investment for somebody, and that's not lost on me. You don't necessarily need to purchase the deluxe model, although it is nice. This tabletop is really nice. But the main thing about the Sailrite machine is the support, the video library, and the customer service, and that's what you want. And that's why I'm really happy to recommend the Sailrite machine for the purposes that we use it for, the smaller items.
They have a Facebook group too, and I joined. Yeah, and I joined the Facebook group.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
I joined the Facebook group, and there's people in there doing all kinds of projects and super helpful and active community there. So, yeah, I think the biggest concern was if we made this recommendation on a machine, and in a lot of cases, you'll have maybe people that are new, that are kind of isolated, maybe they live out far or they don't have anybody close with them.
A service center that you can actually take a machine into.
Yeah, or anyone to help them.
Yeah.
And so some of our friends that we talked to that have one of these were, two gals that had to read the directions and set it up themselves and kind of didn't know what they were doing. And their experience was the same in that they had,
Yeah, Sailrite makes it very DIY friendly.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're in a remote location, you don't want to have to be lugging this machine head into the service center. They do everything they can to help you fix it yourself in place if it needs fixing. Most of the time it doesn't need fixing, it just needs adjusting.
You need to read the manual.
You need Yeah. So definitely, ultimately, in review, we really like the machine. After 20 years of using the other machine, this is very comparable to that, if not a little bit better. And mainly because of the drive system, the motor system is very, very accurate and easy to use. She's had a bunch of success. It's been a good first experience with sewing for you. And
yeah, I really like how slow it starts out.
Yeah, it's very controlled.
I can sit down and just have it slowly start going.
Yes.
And when I tried your machine, it's like all of a sudden I felt like I was going really fast. I probably wasn't, but this one I feel like with my foot, I can go really slow and keep it straight and kind of practice more my technique.
Yep.
And get things going for me. Yeah. And now I've gotten a little bit faster, but I'm not afraid of it. I don't feel like suddenly it's going to run away with me.
Right.
To.
So in conclusion, if you're in the market for a sewing machine of this type, like a Class 18 flatbed sewing machine for smaller projects, shop projects, things of that nature, we highly recommend purchasing the Sailrite Fabricator. There is a link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. We do get a small kickback. We appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video, and if you have any comments or questions,
comment below. We'd love to chat with you about it.
Absolutely.
I love the thing. I'm hooked.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we're back with a very thorough and professional review on the Sailrite Fabricator sewing machine.
Professional?
Very professional.
Okay, good.
Here we go. Yes, it is an affiliate link, and we do get a little bit of kickback. We appreciate.
You want to say that again?
We appreciate you watching. thank you very much. I'm glad you're watching. Please like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah.
And if you have any experience with a Sailrite and have any comments, go ahead and comment below, and we'd be happy to chat with you about it.
Definitely.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, let's say that again one more time. So, in conclusion, if you're in the, I was yelling.
I started yelling too.